Hey guys, this is going to be a video on the review for your mid-chapter 1 test, which is over sections 1.1 through 1.5. And here we go. So the first thing on the test is going to be when you have a sentence and you have to turn it into an algebra expression. For example, you might have the sum, I spelled sum wrong. It's late and I'm tired, but I'm going to get through this just for you guys, okay? The sum of a number and 5. So I'm going to take those words and I'm going to turn it into an algebra expression. So I know sum means add, so I'm going to be adding two things together. And it's a number and 5. And when I see a number, I know that I need to use a variable for that. So I can simply write n plus 5. That is the sum of a number, n, and 5. All right? Let's try another one. This one can be a little bit tricky. When it says less than a number, if you see something less or something more at the beginning of the sentence, that part has to go on the end of your expression, or you're going to get it wrong, especially if it says less. If it says more, that's adding, so it really doesn't matter the order. But if it says less, you're going to get it wrong if you put it on the front. Please put it on the back when it starts with 7 less or 8 more. It goes at the end. So when it says 7 less, I know I'm going to put that on the end. And then than a number, just pick a variable, is going to go on the front. Because this says 7 less than a number. Okay? Please remember that. That's really important. And then one more example. If you see 2 more than twice a number, that would look like, now here we go again, 2 more is on the beginning. When I see that, that has to go at the end of my expression. So I'm going to write it over there at the end. 2 more than twice a number. Twice a number. So twice a number sounds like 2 times a number, or 2x. Okay, now you could have written it like this, like 2 times x. That's totally acceptable. You could have written it like this with the little dot. That's totally acceptable too. But do not use x for multiply in these problems, because then we'll get very confused. Okay, because then it would look like 2 times x plus 2. Ah, that's too many x's. Don't do it. No. Okay, so that is what 2 more than twice a number looks like. Let's keep going. You're going to have to evaluate some exponents on this test. So you know when you have an exponent, it tells you how many times to multiply the base by itself. So if I have 5 to the third, it's telling me multiply 5 times 5 times 5. That is 5 to the third power. You can put that in your calculator using that little caret key like this. Just hit 5 caret 3. And some of you actually have an exponent sign on your calculator, so you can use that exponent key also. Then you're going to have to take an algebraic expression and write it into a sentence. So you might have this is your expression and you have to turn it into a sentence. So I'm going to say this is 3 times a number, my variable, minus 2. It's as easy as that. Just write it in words. And I hope you're pausing the video if you need to write notes or process all this information, because I know I'm moving fast because I don't want the video to be 20 minutes long. So pause the video when you need to. Okay, next thing, order of operations. Please remember PEMDAS, and remember that these two go together and these two go together. All right? Remember our rap song, parentheses first, exponents next, multiplication and division in the same step, addition and subtraction. If you got the nerve, from left to right, first come, first serve. Oh, yes, I did. Just do that. Okay, so here we go. Let's do a couple examples. So you might have 2 times 3 plus 4 divided by 2. I have to follow order of operations. If I do this problem in order from start to finish, I'm going to get the answer wrong. Order of operations says multiplication and division come before addition and subtraction. That means I've got to do this and this before I can do anything with that plus sign in the middle. So that's what I'm going to do first. 2 times 3 is 6. I'm bringing down the plus. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And now I have 6 plus 2, which is 8. Okay, let's try another one. How about, How about this one? So this is kind of opposite of the other one I just did, because now I have multiplication in the middle. Order of operations says I have to do multiplication first. So this is the piece that I'm doing first. 2 times 5 is 10. Then bring the rest of your problem down. So now I'm going to do the addition and subtraction from left to right, okay, as in the order that I get to it. So 6 plus 10 is 16. Bring down the minus 3 because I'm solving it one step at a time. Don't skip steps. You'll make a mistake. And then 16 minus 3 is 13. Okay? Yay. Let's keep going. Another section you'll have is where they give you some values. And you have to plug those values in to an expression and solve it. So they might say, solve 3a plus b. So you're just going to plug in these numbers for a and b and solve. So I got 3 times 2 plus -4. And now I'm going to follow order of operations again. Multiplication first. So 3 times 2 is 6. Now I have addition and subtraction. I have two integers. The signs are different, so I'm going to subtract. 6 minus 4 is 2. The answer takes the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number is 6. It's positive, so my answer stays positive. All right? Almost done, guys. You're doing great. Okay, this is an important one. So I know you have notes on this, but you can take notes again or make sure your notes match what I have here because this is all going to be on the test. So these are the properties. And I'm just going to write them down and show you an example of each one. Okay? The first one is identity property. Identity property says that when you have some number plus 0, it equals that number that you started with. It's identity because it's equaling the same number that we started with. Don't get that confused with zero property. It's not 0 because we're adding. If it was 0, it would be multiplication. And that one's coming up, so don't forget it. Okay, the next one is reflexive. The reflexive property says that one side of the equation equals the same thing on the other side of the equation. So I could have, sorry, my dog is barking. I'm sure you can hear it. It's extremely loud. Okay, so it says that one side can equal the other side. 5 plus 4 equals 5 plus 4. That's reflexive. Or it could be 6 equals 6. All right. The next one, I'm just going to pretend like my dog's not going crazy right now. The next one is the inverse property. So inverse property is when I have some number and I multiply it by its reciprocal. Remember, reciprocal is when I flip a fraction over or I flip a whole number over and there's that imaginary 1 on the bottom. So this one is also called the reciprocal property. Okay, reciprocal or inverse. So you take a number, you multiply it by its inverse, and it equals 1. That's the reciprocal or the inverse property. All right, the next one is the zero property. So this is when you see a 0 in multiplication. So I might have 7 times 0. Well, guess what? Any number times 0 equals 0. And that's why it's called the zero property, because it equals 0. Okay, pause it if you want to take these notes down because I got to erase this so I can add some more. Okay, almost done, guys. You're doing great. So, transitive. This is your favorite. I know you guys love this one. Sorry. Okay, transitive property says if this is the best way to describe it, even though I know you guys don't like this example. If A equals B and B equals C, then guess what? Take out the middleman. The middleman is B because I see B in both equations, right? Take out the middleman and A equals C. That's what this one says. And you could do that with numbers too. All right, so the last one. You guys have done amazing. The last one is called symmetric property. And the symmetric property says if I have 5 plus 6 equals 11, that is the same as 11 equals 5 plus 6. That's symmetric. It's just basically taking the same equation and almost flipping it over, almost flipping it. And then the last thing, and I have like 1 minute left before this video stops and cuts me off, so I'm going to try to be fast. The last thing is the distributive property. That's where you have a number on the outside of the parentheses, and you have to distribute it to everything that's on the inside of the parentheses. So 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 7 is 21. That's all there is to it. Remember, you can also have that number on the outside on the back end of the parentheses. So you could have n minus 8 times 4. But I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw a line. 4 times n is 4n. And then draw a line to this number. 4 times a negative 8 or a minus 8 is going to be minus 32 or negative 32. Okay? That's all there is to it. I hope you guys rewatch the video if you need to. See you next time.